Hey everyone, welcome to Reverse Homesteading. I thought we could spend some time looking at seeds today. It's another cold, wet, rainy day in winter, last month of winter, so we're almost up to spring. Some of these things I can grow with my heat pads. I have 4 of them, I think. I've loaned them out at the moment, so I'll have to get them back. But some of these I can start soon, at least in August, here in the southern hemisphere. So I thought I'd show you a little bit of my system as it is. It is putting things in plant groups. So tomatoes, the Solanaceae family, I think that's what you call it. So tomatoes, capsicums or peppers, Cape gooseberries, chilies or peppers, hot chilies, banana chilies, which are, I don't actually have a photo of them. Alright, so banana chilies are sweet peppers that are long and thin, sort of carrot shaped but fatter, and tamarillos and tomatillos are also, or tomatillos, also in that plant family. So that's what we're looking at here, and I've shown you my other things that I'd work out what I'm going to plant for the seeds that are going to take the longest to get ready and do something in summer, spring, summer. So tomatoes are one of those things, eggplants, chilies or peppers can take quite a while as well to produce. That's not an exhaustive list. But anyway, let's quickly run through what I've got here on my coffee table. Tomato pineapple stripes. The pineapple one, I guess, is just not stripy, but some of them are, so I'm not sure if it's a cross or what it is. But anyway, pineapple, they're usually pretty big, as you can see. Rouge de Maman, another heritage one. These are some of my own seeds. Red Saladette, super tough tomato. So there's some seeds that I've saved myself. Green Zebra tomato. Someone in the family said it was the best tomato they've ever eaten. That's a herbaceous kind of taste. And they're actually ripe when they're green. They have very faint yellow stripes on them, and you can tell that they're ready once they are. Cherokee purple, which most of you would know. Tomato that our friends gave us. It's about that big, huge producer. Didn't produce that much in the tropics, I think, because I planted it at the wrong time of the year. You can plant tomatoes any time of the year, but the wet season is pretty rough on them. Oxheart tomato. Tigerella, that's another herbaceous kind of tasting one. I quite like that one. Moneymaker, it's an old-fashioned hybrid. So not everything I have are open pollinated or heritage, but any kind of tomato or any other kind of fruit or veggie that is a hybrid might just well one day become a heritage, just given it enough time and popularity. I'll show you my other tomatoes. Here are my paste or passata tomatoes. I haven't grown a lot of these. The first time I ever grew tomatoes were Roma tomatoes, and they were kind of grainy and weird, and I think I actually overwatered them. But it didn't put me off. I tried to do a mass planting of San Marzanos in the tropics. Something came in and bit them all off when they were just about to produce some real growth. So I was quietly collecting packets. I have so many because it was around the edge of my orchard. I had a lot of space back then, so I might need to give away some of these San Marzano paste tomatoes. Seeds, just a basic Roma, a more expensive brand. My own seeds from Roma's, they might be a little bit old, October 21. And an Amish paste, which a friend of mine up north really loved, and yeah, I'll give those a go this year. Well, some of them. I don't have a whole lot of space, we'll see. These are my cherry tomato seeds. I know, I have too many. Most of them are my own seeds now, probably because I've stopped myself from buying anymore. This sweetie one promised a lot, but it was in the dry season in the tropics. Rocky Tropics Gardening, Tropics with an X, is my other channel. If you want to see what was happening with my tomatoes up there, they weren't very sweet, and I think it was just the dry weather and just the heat sort of beat it out of them. So I'm not saying they're not a sweetie tomato, but where they were and what they were doing was not terribly impressive. I have a lot of cherry tomatoes that are different colours, different attributes. The black cherry ones are quite good. I have a couple of those. The best really tiny tomato that I've had, that I have here, I'm not sure if you want me to go through all of these because I'll end up talking about all of them, is the Broad Ripple Yellow Currant Tomato, which now I can't find. There's a Yellow Currant by the Seed Collection, and oh, look, there you go. Broad Ripple Yellow Currant. Very sweet, very easy to grow, at least in the tropics. I haven't grown down here in Melbourne, but these plum cherries had a herbaceous taste. They were very good. They were ones that I grew from the supermarket. A lot more vining ones. Midnight Snack Cherry, they were from some that I grew from the supermarket. The Thai Pink Egg Tomato are so sweet, so lovely. Yeah, so I really want to grow some more of those this year. And the other thing I was going to mention, the white cherry is interesting, but the plant died for some reason. I can't remember why. I mean, look at this. Who keeps seeds from tomatoes that were a question mark 3 years ago? I do. But the very best tomatoes that I've ever had are these ones. Unknown tomatoes on a reused packet. There's another packet here. Compact tomatoes, 2019. They might still grow. I don't know, this one's a bit more recent. But they came from the compost, and I don't know what they are, so I guess they're originally one from the supermarket or one that I grew, but they're really cool, and they actually detach quite easily. They're sort of jointed, so you just sort of flick them off and you get a little bit of the stem. It's about that long. Very easy, very quick to pick, especially when rain is coming, when you need to get the tomatoes in quickly or they're going to split because they suck up too much water when it rains a lot. But anyway, that's my little tomato collection. So we have eggplant in that family as well. So the Rosa Bianca one is an heirloom one. Really cool. I only just got to the end of my season when they really started to kick on last time, and then we moved house and I pulled out my veggie garden, so that was a little bit sad. So I'll try again with those. The Ping Tong ones are the ones which I grew in the tropics in the last 4 years or so. They were fantastic, although I did find it was hard to know when they were ripe, and they were bitter when they weren't ripe. So it said when they're dark and glossy. I actually picked them when they're a lot darker than that, and still some of them were not great tasting. So some of them did turn out to be that dark, but it wasn't these. These are an Italian heirloom eggplant, so we shall see. I'll sort myself out. Sadly the bugs got some grubs actually. Got a lot of these last year, and then we moved house, so I'll try those again. This is my little set that I'm trying to convert to. As you can see, I've still got a lot of my own seed packets that are just small Ziploc bags, which are not great, but they do fit the plant labels in them as well once you write them out, so it's all there in one spot, which I also find handy. So these little baggies save space, but they don't really offer that opportunity, which is not such a bad thing. So I've got my plant labels. I'll put in a link here so that you can make those out of things that you probably have at home. Right, on with these. Cape gooseberry, they're a South African thing. They're like the English gooseberries that are green, but they're yellowy orange colour. They're like ground cherries, same plant family. So these are pineapple ones that I've grown myself before. That's just to show you the little packet that I keep them in. Tomatillos that I've grown before. They'll grow just fine this year. So looking forward to those. These will all need a heat mat in August if I decide to start them all in August. Probably won't have space to do all of them in August. Tamarillos have to grow into a little tree before you get fruit, so I'm looking forward to having those. The heat got them up in the tropics. These are all things that take a long time to grow, like celery does. Celery takes quite a while. I've been regrowing this from just a little base from the supermarket. Ooh, it's gonna be gross now. I was going to plant it, so I'll do that soon. I think I'll plant it around the side of the house where I've got my rhubarb, if you've seen the cleaning up a messy corner video. So sweet peppers, bell peppers, here in Australia we call them capsicums, and some of my own seed from that. Grown up in the tropics. Here, some other sweet peppers. I've just called them snack peppers because you can get them in the supermarket, just the little small kind of triangular ones. They come in red, yellow and orange usually, so there's a yellow one. And this is a pale lime coloured banana chili. I often draw pictures of things so that I know for sure what something is. So these ones had a purple tip and they're pretty mild, so definitely sweet peppers or sweet capsicum kind of things. Now onto the hot ones. Thai bullet chili. I had a massive, almost 2 metre tall tree that I kept sheltered in Melbourne against an east facing wall actually, so they didn't get the western sun, and it lasted for 2 or 3 years until we moved house and I tried to move it and it didn't like that. Anyway, Thai bullet chilies, they're the ones that are sort of about that big and they're sort of fat and rounded bullet shape, I guess. Hot cayenne, bird's eye. Hubby loves to make chili sauce and he has Carolina Reapers that he puts in there too. I grew a lot of those up north. They were so easy to grow in the tropics, but I have grown them here in Victoria, I think. Actually, no, I haven't. No, only in the tropics, but they will. The summer's hot and dry enough here in Melbourne to do that. Scotch bonnet. Didn't have a lot of success sprouting those in Queensland in the tropics. I'm not sure why. Serrano chili got eaten by wallabies, so I haven't successfully grown a Serrano chili yet because they got into my orchard every now and then. I have sugar rush peach seeds somewhere. This is a peach coloured habanero. Red cherry, hot chili. They're just the little round ones that people often stuff with cream cheese. Hawaiian chili. It's a hot one. I grew them near the end of being in Queensland. They look like a cayenne and they're quite aggressively hot. My hubby said I usually get him to do the taste test of the really hot ones because I don't go near hot ones. And I'm not really sure of the kind because I googled Hawaiian chili and there are so many hot peppers in Hawaii that are called Hawaiian ones, so who knows. More Scotch bonnet ones, World Kitchen, which is a bit more pricey, and some that we got from friends, and good old dwarf bok choy. I'm going to grow some more of this. It actually says sow all year round or grow all year round, and you really can. It's just such an amazing little veggie. And one last thing to show you, these brassicas, one of the bags has popped. So this is just sort of everything cabbage-like. And it seems we're going to play Guess That Brassica again, because there's a whole lot of seed in the bottom. It's probably pak choy, because it's not really big enough for choy sum seeds. So we shall see. I'll plant it and see what pops up. Probably a mixture of things. But that's my seed thinking for today. Heat mats for August and a bit more planning to do. Forgot to show you my loofah seeds. These are from Seed Savers when I lived in the tropics. They could be a bit old, but they take up to 180 days to produce fruit. So just for some fun, I should plant these because otherwise it's going to be too late soon. Maybe I can give them away for Christmas if they're planted early enough. So they're my early plantings. And they will need a heat mat, but if I get started soon in August, mid-August or so, I'll be able to plant them out as 4 to 6 week seedlings by the time we get to mid-September, sort of toward late September. It's usually okay for frost to put things out by then. Usually I wait, depends on the weather, I often wait until October for some things, so if they're particularly frost sensitive I might even wait until October, but usually the end of September is when I'm planting seedlings out in the garden. So thanks for watching. Hope you're having fun in your garden, or at least planning it. We'll see you next time.